What's up YouTubers, and today we're going to be talking about banned Pokemon episodes. So yeah guys, if you don't know, lately there's been a new banned Pokemon episode, a new banned dubbed Pokemon episode within the Sun and Moon series. And that just kind of got me thinking, what if there were changes done to these banned episodes within the past that can make them okay again within the future, but no one's really done them because problems again. Besides, my own personal opinion, the newest banned episodes kind of got a bit of a stupid reason behind it, but I'll go further into detail about that in the when we get to it. But yeah guys, a lot of these banned episodes, actually, I can understand the reasoning behind the banning, but at the same time, you've also got to think who dubbed them in the first place. 4 kids. And to be fair, 4 kids have been at the time, done some stupid censoring in the times, which I'll get further on to how 4 kids have gone around those with other things they've dubbed when we get to a particular episode which I want to rant about. And if they can do that, why couldn't they have done these with these episodes? I do not know, but I really think they could have at least tried. So yeah guys, how this is going to be done is I'm going to do these episodes in order, starting off from the original series all the way through to the Sun and Moon series. I'm going to talk about the episode as a whole. I'm going to talk then why it got banned and what we can do to change that, such as changing an item or changing what a person says. It's those sort of things that usually get episodes banned or at least hated in the first place, so it wouldn't help to get them redone. That way, for viewers' choice or publishing choices, they got a choice of then either the original that got aired or the remastered or re-edited that they've just done. I've seen programs do this going on my experience with TV, so it wouldn't hurt to do it now, especially since Pokemon is like one of the most biggest anime out there, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would appreciate if Pokemon did this in the first place. So why don't we jump straight into it, guys. As you know, there have been multiple episodes in the past that's been banned, whether from Japan or after it got dubbed. There have been 5 confirmed episodes that have been either aired once or never in Japan. But at the same time, within the English dub, there have been about 7 episodes banned, either after airing or aired 1 or 2 times and then got notice and then banned. So why don't we start off with the first ever episode that got banned, and that'll be episode 18, Beauty and the Beach, from the original series. Beauty and the Beach is an episode that got released on June 24th, 2000 within the United States. This episode mainly takes place between Island of the Giant Pokémon, that episode where Ash and Co, Team Rocket, washed up on a mysterious island, lose their Pokémon, they get chased by these giant Pokémon, and then have to find each other again. It then followed Tentacool and Tentacruel, that episode, which did receive some hate, but didn't officially become a banned episode, all because of Tentacool and Tentacruel destroying a resort. What happens within this episode, which we do kind of get a teaser at the end of the Island of Giant Pokemon, is that they arrive at a Beauty Beach resort, and Ash, Misty and Brock go play in the at the beach, have fun. They're all in their swimsuits. They somehow end up stealing a boat. I don't know how. They end up stealing the boat. They get into trouble thanks to Team Rocket. They crash into a dock, And we then see the first reason why this episode got banned, and it's because of this perverted old man. Now, in the original subbed, he mentions how he can't wait for Misty to grow up a bit more to have some fun. I should not really explain what kind of fun he means. But in the dub, he turns around and goes, with the perverted face again, "Oh, you remind me of my granddaughter." Now, again, that still does not help. You still got the perverted face. That does not really help the episode much. Later on, they work for him to pay off the debt of crashing his boat and destroying some property of his. Only later to find out Team Rocket did the same thing to his rival, and they're losing business because of it. So Ash and Co will stay working for him for a long time. Then Professor Oak and Ash's mother appeared, saying there's a way to fix all this. Enter this beauty contest. Which, of course, Misty agrees and does. Which then leads to another reason why banning. There are multiple reasons now why this episode got banned, all because of this beauty contest alone. First of all, the beauty contest alone. It can be, at the time, I believe it was like sexist, really, just because it's like a beauty contest. Missy was walking along saying, this is very diminishing, this is very sad, but we need the money. That is not the full quote, but we need the money is a quote that Misty said while walking along the pier. Which of course will get some heads turning, like, why do it then in the first place if you don't really like it? Is it all for the sake of the money? Is it all for the sake of the fame? Which of course can turn some heads. What happens next actually happened within the Japanese episode, not the English episode, but I'm still going to bring it up anyway because it's still famous for that scene alone. When James and Jesse entered the beauty contest. Yes, James entered the beauty contest. He put on some inflated gazangas. Some inflatable hoo-ha-has. I don't really want to say the actual word. He brought on some inflatable boobies, basically, to enter the beauty contest. Luckily, they didn't last long, but still, it's really a disturbing scene, and I can see if people saw that, would see why they would want to ban the episode. But yeah, after the beauty contest, it then just rises into chaos. The rival store kind of got blew up in the process. Team Rocket goes blasting off again, and everything's all hunky-dory again. Everything's all back to normal. Ash's mum won the trophy. She's proud of him. They go off onto the next adventure, and then end up in the Tentacle and Tentacruel episode. There's one thing though, guys, I really should pop up about the Tentacle and Tentacruel episode, that it kind of also gives a bit of controversy to it. It kind of gives something that's that they should have trimmed off after the ban Beauty and the Beach. Because at the end of because they bring up the rival's sister, which they recognise, and at the end of the episode, after she goes blasting off, she arrives in the same scene as Beauty and the Beach and bumps into her sister again. After this episode got banned after its first airing, so unless you were really one of the lucky ones at the time to see that episode, you wouldn't really know who that person was and why they would freak out. So if they're going to keep the episode banned, they should at least go back to Tentacruel and Tentacruel and cut that scene out, or at least redub it so they don't even know who that woman is, and probably just get scared that the fact that that's just popped out of nowhere. That's what they should probably do if they keep an episode banned. But how can they fix that episode in the first place? Well, from the way I see it, guys, there are a few things they can do. First of all, the perverted old man. At the beginning, don't make him perverted. At that time, stock footage was a thing. Really, a lot of programs use stock footage, mainly within American cartoons. They use stock footage to save time and money creating episodes. So surely they could have got a scene with the old man with none of action co around him. Even if they did, they could have just trimmed it and zoomed it in to use that footage, flip it, spin it, whatever, and then give him a new line while Ash is hiding behind Misty. He could at least turn around and go, "Stop hiding behind your friend, you coward. You're going to be working for me, all three of you are the culprit." I'm pretty sure if they've done that, things would have been okay. This episode would have got banned. In fact, if anything, this episode would have showed take responsibility for your actions. Since a lot of children were watching Pokemon at this time, they will then learn responsibility, which unfortunately at that time was really needed. Even I can admit that. The next thing they could have sorted out was the beauty contest. They could have just redubbed it and said it's a Pokemon contest. It's a Pokemon and trainer contest at the least. Or showcase. They've introduced now contests and showcases within the next few seasons. We started seeing them in Ruby and Sapphire seasons with May. We then expanded upon that with the Diamond and Pearl series with Dawn. It then got further ahead with we didn't see it in the Black and White series, but we then saw it in the X and Y series with Serena's Pokemon Showcase. This episode, just redub it and turn it into something that could be an inspiration for the contest, the coordinates, everything that a lot of people like. It's even loved in the games. A lot of people like doing the contests or the showcase within the games. Even I do. So just redub it. Say that Professor Oak and Ash's mum recommends entering this contest. This Pokemon and Trainer contest where Trainer and Pokemon give off a show, like a talent show. Don't make it a beauty contest. Turn it into something like that. I'm pretty sure if you redubbed it and say it like that, we would then understand why Misty walked along, waving her hand, smiling, with a Pokemon giving off a water show. That would explain even more why she's in a bikini. So that way, if she gets wet, nothing wrong. It's a swimsuit. Everything's then all hunky-dory. But of course, again, cut out Jesse James' inflatable boob scene. That is not needed, and I'm glad it's not available in dub. But yeah, if you do all those changes to Beauty and the Beach, I'm pretty sure someone out there has probably already redubbed the episode, and it looks better that way. It's not that hard to just pull up the original video and edit out the sound and put some new sound in. They're called a bridge series after all. But yeah, that's what I mean. That would make Beauty and the Beach a so much more enjoyable episode. If they want to keep in the beauty contest, just redub. I would say redub what Misty says. Something like her own personal pep talk, really, like gotta keep calm, gotta keep cool, gotta keep calm, gotta keep cool. Something like that, because she knows the responsibility. And then probably re-age the episode. Pokemon's like between U and PG, so make this episode then a 12. So that way young kids can still enjoy it, but at least then you've got parent concern within the episode. The next banned episode, I guess you can't really say it's banned. More like it didn't get dubbed for the reasons why it's considered a banned episode. The episode 35, because it never got dubbed, hasn't really got a name. But if I had to guess, the name would be an alteration of its Japanese name, The Legend of Miniri. I don't know its Japanese name, but I'm gonna say The Legend of Dratini. The episode takes place between the Kangaskhan Kid and the Bridge Bike Gang. Both really good episodes, and would explain why the episode would be there. This episode is famous for one reason, and that's because of Ash's Tauruses. But I'll explain why later. This episode starts off with Ash and Co walking off from the Kangaskhan Kid, looking for, I'm guessing, the Pokemon Safari, the area in the game where you can like feed the wild Pokemon and try and catch them rather than battle them. They start off singing, and they eventually bump into this old cowboy kind of man who's the owner of the safari, and this is where the episode then starts to go downhill into the ban zone. The cowboy uses guns, actual cowboy guns, and the amount of times throughout this episode, I'm even gonna probably end the talking of this episode here. The amount of times he uses his gun on Ash, on Brock, I think he used it on Team Rocket as well. It's actually kind of stupid. True, it fits his character as a cowboy. They use guns. But we're in a kids program. I know a lot of people are going to hate me, but it's rated U and PG. You can't really use guns in a kids kind of program.
I've also forgot to mention that there's been also gun use within several other episodes. And does that make this episode special just because they actually use guns? In Tentacool and Tentacruel, we see the woman using the guns on Pokemon. Maybe it's not allowed because it's being used on humans. And now that I've added that in, back to our regularly scheduled video.
I mean, 4Kids are the people who dubbed this episode. And this is where I get into what I said before. 4Kids do some stupid editing. 4Kids is famous for this editing. In Yu-Gi-Oh!, in the episode where Kaiba makes the first ever duel disc, he gets attacked by Pegasus' goon squad at gunpoint. But no, in the 4Kids version, you don't get guns, you get finger pointing. Step away or I'll poke your eye out. Could they do this in this episode? I don't really see it working, but you can see what I mean. Even in the 4Kids stupid excuse for One Piece. I grew up watching that series, and even I could not understand it when I was little. I'm glad I watched the Funimation version in the future, which is a lot more enjoyable. But in one episode, when the main character Luffy is beating up the bad guy, we have the bad guy's kid not holding Luffy's friend at gunpoint. No, we see him holding at some sort of weird gun hammer point. Could 4Kids do this for Pokemon? Probably not. Is there something I think they could have done to make it better? Yes. Yes. They could have made this episode better by switching the gun for something else. Maybe like a taser sort of thing, so that way you're not killing. True, the gun does get shot at like Team Rocket while they're doing their intro sort of thing. Prepare for trouble, make it double. Just make it a taser. At least then we understand why they're frightened of the bullets. Because if they get paralyzed from the electric shock of the taser gun, they would fall off and still get hurt. Probably they won't show breaking their necks, but at least then the shocks. I mean, Team Rocket has been electrocuted by Pikachu so many times at that point. They will at least still get a back up after falling off if they got hit with the paralyzing thing. And would also explain why Ash, Brock and Misty would be scared of the power of the gun as well, because again it shocks them, it paralyzes them. They're at a time limit for the Safari Zone, so if they get paralyzed and shocked while the time is still going, they're going to have less time to catch the Pokemon, even though every time Ash ends up catching a Tauros instead of any Pokemon he sees. Plus, this episode is famous as well for the first ever appearance of Dratini and its evolved form, Dragonair. What? It honestly sometimes saddens me that it doesn't. This episode is just like that. They couldn't change the gun like that, but 4Kids can be bothered to change a gun to a hammer or finger pointing, but they couldn't be bothered to think about something like a taser. I mean, kids would then be scared of tasers. I mean, police in the UK carry around tasers now, rather than actual guns. But this is one of the most stupidest things as well. I mean, if we look in other episodes that got aired by 4Kids, they're okay with samurai swords, shuriken from that challenge with the samurai episode, the ninja Pokemon gym, but they couldn't be bothered to. But guns is like a no-no. But this is honestly stupid. I know it's a kids program. There are a lot of kids programs that deal with swords and all that, but they can't be bothered again to just alter to taser. Alright, let's move on to the next episode, guys, before I actually lose it. The next episode, it got the same treatment as the previous episode, The Legend of Dratini, but there's a serious reason behind its banning and why it affected a certain Pokemon. This episode is called Computer Warrior Porygon. I don't think I need to explain why this episode got banned. This is famous for the reason, but I'm still going to go through it anyway for you people who do not know about this episode. This episode takes place between Ditto and Mysterious Mansion and Goodbye Pikachu, meaning this will be the 38th episode. This episode follows Ash and Co going into a Pokemon Center, finding out there is something wrong with the Pokemon transport system, and just so happens there's a professor in town that deals with sort of things. They go over and learn that Team Rocket is the reason for these problems. They stole one of the professor's Porygons so they can enter in the cyberspace and capture all the Pokemon that's being sent through the transport system. Ash and Co take another one of the professor's Porygons to try and stop them. They end up fighting, they stop, but in the midst of this they release an antivirus program which sees everyone, including the Porygons, as a threat and aims to delete them. In other words, kill them. That, again, is if the main reason for banning this episode would not be reason, the deletion could be the reason. Because again, kill them, delete them, we all know what delete means. We've all seen a Cyberman from Doctor Who. So in other words, we could, they could say outside of the program, the people are saying that there's a program to forcibly eject everything, but Ash and Co don't know what that is, and they run away from it. That'll be an okay dubbing if they ever dub this episode, because it could be like a miscommunication sort of thing, and I'm pretty sure that'll be okay. But then we get to the real reason why this episode got banned. During the chase scene, where they almost get deleted, Pikachu decides to thunderbolt the deletion program, which then, of course, makes flashing red and blue lights, and this is where we get the reason why this episode got banned. This episode got banned because it caused some people some seizures within Japan. This episode mainly aired about once, I think. This episode only got aired once, and it already sent hundreds, if not thousands, of children, adults. I've got the approximate number right here actually. It sent 685 Japanese children, 375 were girls and 310 were boys, to the hospitals for epileptic seizures. You can see now why this episode got banned and probably why it will never see the light of day, even if we edited it. And I can see why a lot of people would still want to keep it in the dark, but I still like the episode. True, I've watched it. I did not end up with an epileptic seizure, luckily. But then again, the episode I probably watched probably got edited so hard so that way it wouldn't cause seizures, because it did get darkened when the seizures happen. But I still think that could probably cause seizure effects. I do not know if it will. I do not want to try and find out in case it caused more problems for me. But there could be an easier way to fix this. I think if we do the same thing some people do for like a bridge series where they edit eyes and lips sometimes to get what they want, they can make this episode okay. Rather than do the eyes and lips and all that, why not edit the entire scene area with the flashing red and blue lights? Technology is involved so much that could probably be done. But instead of like red and blue lights, why not use like the explosion emoji instead? I mean, a lot of people use emojis. Some people think emojis are going to replace the English language, so why not use that as like a comedic joke and all that? They're in cyberspace. They see the exploding emojis after Pikachu thunderbolted them. And Ash can just turn to Pikachu with a smiley face, going, "Well done, Pikachu, but I never thought I'll see that." So that's what explosions look like in cyberspace, the exploding emojis. That will probably... I'm pretty sure it will lead to a funny moment, yes. But again, it will be understandable because they're in cyberspace. People talk with emojis through cyberspace. But yeah, that's one way the episode can be redeemed. And because of this, again, it would probably lift the ban from Porygon appearing in future episodes. Because of this episode alone, Porygon and its evolutions, Porygon 2 and Porygon Z, are not allowed to appear within Pokemon TV series entirely. They're allowed to appear in the manga, which they did in the first season of the mangas. They're allowed to appear in the video games, which they do. I have a load of Porygons. Porygon's like one of my favourite strong Pokemon. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't even know Porygon, know that it's a cybernetic Pokemon, and would like to know more about it, but they can't because of, again, this warning on this episode. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would appreciate this. The Pokemon at least attempting to bring back this episode and allow these edits. It might end up with some problems, but that's why you've got like people you show these episodes to, and you've got companies, you've got stockholders, you've got people to talk about this with, see if it'll be okay. You could show the episode and say, "This is a re-edit. We're trying our best." Show it to the group, the people that banned the episode in the first place, and see if it'll be okay. Will it come back with these edits? Probably not, considering the hate this episode got and the problems this episode got from sending people to the hospital. But hopefully, fingers crossed, if they did this change, it'll be successful. This episode aired in 1997 after all. That got aired about 21 years ago. I wouldn't be surprised if some people have actually probably forgotten until they've seen this video. The next one we're going to talk about, guys, is not one episode. We're going to be talking about 4 episodes. All because they have the same problem, which I think got fixed in the future of these episodes' release. I do not know. I only have notes of what I've got written down. So, let's talk about them. First episode of the 4 is called Holiday Hijinks. This episode aired between episode 38, the Porygon episode, and Snow Way Out, that really sad episode where we got like Ash trapped and the Pokemon tries to warm it up. The other episodes is episode 90, Stage Fight. This aired between Shell Shock and Bye Bye Psyduck. The other one is episode 99, the Maiden Island Mismatch. This aired between A Way of Day Off or Where Thou Art Thou Pokemon. Those two episodes aired within the Orange Island series. And the fourth one is episode 250. This aired within the Johto series between I Politely Yes So and Beauty is Skin Deep. I'm not going to go through these episodes as a whole because that's going to take too long, but I will tell you guys they all share the same reason why they got banned, and that would be because of Jinx. Now before in the original series, Jinx did not have a purple face. Before, Jinx kind of had like a black face, which led to the reason why it got banned. Because it had a black face, Jinx came off as racist. After the first episode was aired, Holiday Hijinks, a woman named, I'm going to butcher this name, I do apologise, Caroline Boston Webfound wrote an article basically saying that Jinx is a negative stereotype of African Americans related to children. And because of this, it kind of got Jinx some bad rep. So in order to correct this, they gave Jinx a remodel. They changed anything black on her to purple to say sorry, sorry you thought that, we didn't mean that, but Jinx is still like Pokemon, we'll edit it for you so that way there's no more problems. We'll get rid of every episode that showed Jinx having this coloured face and replace it with anything purple. Which I'm guessing is okay, because according to my notes here, the Japanese version of Amazon and Netflix have the edited version, while Hulu have the original version. So if you watch this episode on Netflix or Amazon, you'll have the purple face. No, we're going to have to go searching for the black face. And I'm guessing they did that then within future episodes. Episode 90, if Jinx had a black face, they would replace it with the purple face when editing. Because I think it's okay in Japan. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to say it is. But I think they would have changed it in Japan as well, just to make sure. They would have done it in episode 99 as well, and they would have done it with episode 250. And ever since then, Jinx has remained purple. Is this episode still banned? I think, yeah, this goes to where we mentioned before. You can have two versions of a singular episode if they wanted, which they've done here. You've got the not to sound rude, the purple and the black version. I guess a lot of people would go mainly for the purple version, but yeah, I grew up with the black version, and I did not really know the editing changed until like when I was older, when I paid more attention to detail. Did they make a good choice with the editing? Yes, I say so. Pokemon do not want a bad rep on their shoulders. So I would understand why they do that, and I'm actually happy that they did. So good on you, Pokemon. You can do that for Jinx, but you can't be bothered to do that for like any other banned episodes to try and get them unbanned. This is where like I start to get really annoyed really fast, because they do that small thing to try and get an episode unbanned, but they can't be bothered to do it with any other banned episode. Right, the next 3 episodes, guys, they're not really technically banned episodes, they're more like unaired. They never really aired on Japanese TV. So, I do not know, I never really looked into it, but I do not know that because of this, have these episodes appeared online? I think they have. We've got some clips of the episode. They appeared in the box sets. I do not know myself. But these episodes got unaired in Japan, and because of it, unaired in the USA as well, for something that's happened in Japan. Let me explain. The first unaired episode is Shaking Island Battle Doju versus Masuno. I do not know what Pokemon they're referencing, but in the picture I've got here, we've got a Wish Cash. So I'm guessing that's one of the Pokemon. And I'm guessing the other one is a person, because we got the person right next to him. This episode didn't get aired because this episode was skipped due to Japan having a strong earthquake in, I'm going to butcher this, Nagano Professor, nearly a week before the episode would have been aired. This episode didn't get aired because within this episode alone, we've got Pokemon using Earthquake, Fissure, and I can never pronounce this episode, move right, Magnet, Magnitudo, the names will be up there. These episodes cause like shockwaves within the earth to damage your Pokemon, which, okay, I can understand. You don't want this episode aired because you don't want people thinking about the earthquake incident. That's just bad timing. Surely they could not just like re-air the episode at a later time. Was it too late? Is that why they pulled back on the episode? This episode never got aired, so I would say they could have waited a year maybe for this episode to be released for people to be okay with it. But because it never got aired, it never got dubbed as well. Maybe it got dubbed, I do not know. Considering there are images of this episode, I wouldn't be surprised if this episode has been released, but probably an online version. But at the moment, I do not know. The next unaired episode, it does not happen until the Black and White series, which surprises me. Pokemon did well until Black and White. This episode, it's kind of like a two-parter. We've got a two-part episode here. Black and White episode 24 and 23. They never got aired in Japan, and they never got aired within the USA. The reason, again, is because of the earthquake and tsunami, and the nuclear disaster. My God, that's 3 big reasons to air this episode. Apparently this episode did get uploaded as known as Team Plasma Pokemon Power Plot. But because of all the problems, these episodes got removed from continuity, so they don't really count as proper Pokemon episodes. They probably count as a special. Maybe, I'll accept that. But because of the problems, these episodes are forever a banned episode. Did they get dubbed? I do not know. Would I like to see them dubbed? There's a few episodes I'd like to see dubbed, but no, I don't think so. these episodes mainly revolve around Team Plasma, and within the second part, the 24th episode, I think involves Ash, and that's all I know. I think it also involves Team Rocket, probably teaming up, and then eventually finding Team Plasma. It wouldn't surprise me. Team Rocket always follows Ash. And with that, guys, we come to the latest band episode. The latest band episode within the Sun and Moon series. Sun and Moon episode 64. I believe it's called Touchdown of Friendship. The 1003rd episode. My god, there are that many episodes. Now, this episode got aired in Japan March 1st, 2018. And apparently it's not going to get released dubbed. Which is going to be a stupid reason, if you ask me. Now, am I wrong to why it's going to be a stupid reason? I could be completely wrong. But the reason why this episode is going to be banned, even though we're nowhere near its number yet. In the dubbed, we're up to 43, I believe. No, we're not. One more thing, dubbed splits off. Sun and Moon, 20 plus 43, 63. So the next episode would be this episode, but apparently it's going to get banned. Because apparently this episode is banned for the same reason Jinx first got banned. Blackface. Let me explain. During this episode, during the second half of this episode, in order to imitate the appearance of Pasmere, Ash dresses up as Pansmere. Now because of this, Ash wears a disguise and makeup. He tries to dress up like a Pasmere. A monkey. So he has blackface paint on, he wears like a green hat and some white fur around him. Now, if you ask me, that's not really supporting blackface. From this clip alone here, this little image here, this is what Ash is dressed up as. I don't see blackface. I actually don't. If you see the monkeys in the background, the Pasmeres in the background, you then know Ash is imitating them. That's not really supporting blackface, if you ask me. If Ash got up one day, decided to walk around town, threw some black makeup on, then yes, you have my agreement. That goes way too far. But this is a disguise to get along with the Pasmeres. Why ban the episode if it gives you a reason why he's doing that? It's honestly, I could be wrong with all this, guys. These are my opinions, but I seriously think that the person who banned this episode just took a clip out of context and just jumped to conclusions. Are they going to re-edit Pasmere like Jinx, make him a purple or a different colour? I don't think so, because again, they're monkeys. They have tails. Ash is probably good. I have not seen the episode myself, but I won't be surprised if Ash has an attachable tail for such an occasion like this. Can this episode get re-aired, dubbed? Will this episode ever get aired dubbed? Probably. If If the dub explains in detail, I'm not talking about simple, oh, we're gonna go hang out with Passmeres, but you're gonna be in disguise. No. If people are gonna jump to the blackface conclusion, they'll need to hammer in the reason why Ash is disguised like that. It's my only conclusion. That's how they're gonna probably get this episode unbanned. True, it's not gonna get dubbed. It's never gonna get dubbed. I don't know. Will they ever get dubbed in the future? Probably. Is there a dubbed version out there that we don't know about? And that's the reason how this episode got banned in the first place? Maybe. Like I said, I've never seen this episode. I've not gone looking, so I only realised the news of this episode, and that's what got me to do this. But I would love to see this episode dubbed. I would like to see Ash act like a monkey. Not that he already does. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Did I give you guys some ideas on how these episodes can get banned? What do you think of these banned episodes? Do you think they have a justifiable reason for getting banned? Do you think with the technology we have these days, or what's being developed, do you think we can get these episodes unbanned? Do they deserve to be unbanned? Do they deserve to get re-aired? Let me know your thoughts within the comment section below. So, yeah guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm now going to go hunting for the Sun and Moon episode where Ash acts like a Passmere, because I've now got myself intrigued. Is there more to this episode getting banned? But as far as I know, it just got banned because Ash wants to act like a Passmere. So yeah, until next time guys, this is me signing out.